What is Harry Potter about? You have to, if your answer is magic, that's the lamest answer you can possibly come up with.
False convert. Merchandiser.
This is insane. Like, you go and watch a movie and it's got so much mythology in it. So if you go and watch Marvel and you got, like, the most recent, I think, Thor movie has like Zeus in it and all these other deities. Like, if you don't know Greek mythology, you're not going to make sense of any of that stuff. So if you're talking about like Homer's Iliad or the Odyssey or any one of these really, really powerful stories that have influenced our culture, you got to value that. And I think J.R. Tolkien understood that.
So let's go back to this idea of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And the accusation that it's full of witchcraft, you shouldn't expose your kids to witchcraft, and that magic in stories is always witchcraft and always bad and always demonic.
Yeah, then my response immediately would be, then your children aren't going to read any good literature.
Okay.
Yeah, then my response immediately would be, then your children aren't going to read any good literature. Okay.
Plain and simple. Then you're not going to have them read Homer's Iliad because there's worship of different gods.
Okay.
You're not going to have them read the Odyssey.
Okay.
You're not going to have them read pagan philosophers, Socrates, Plato. Plato, in his teachings, produces a reincarnation theology, right? My kid might read it and become, a Platonist or Neoplatonist and then start believing in reincarnation. Yeah, correct. They might. Yeah, correct. They might.
My kid might read it and become, a Platonist or Neoplatonist and then start believing in reincarnation. Yeah, correct. They might.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
But they might also get some good reasoning and thinking through it. What is Harry Potter about? You have to, if your answer is magic, that's the lamest answer you can possibly come up with.
Okay.
Because that means you're not paying attention to the literature and you don't know what it's even about. So let me give you some themes. And I'm not like the biggest Harry Potter guy. Like, my son's reading it.
My son's reading it. My son's reading it.
And so we have conversations about this. It's about an orphan boy. It's about, how do you deal with fame when you're 11 years old and you're the most popular person? Right? What do you do when you have abusive family members? Like his uncle's family is abusive towards him. Great power. How do you wield it? Suffering and death. What is it like I said, to grow up without parents? What does community look like, and friendship, and people who have to carry your burdens with you? That's what Harry Potter's about. Ultimately, it's about death.
Hulu, Disney, because me and my son are now watching The Mandalorian. We watch through all the Star Wars. We love all the documentaries. And so I personally don't have a problem with things that you're going to actually use and the things that you find valuable.
Yes.
There's a beautiful bonding me and my son do over Star Wars.
There's a beautiful bonding me and my son do over Star Wars.
The homies, we were like, yo, Adrian put on his Instagram, yo, what should I dress up as Halloween? And one of the homies was like, nothing. My church doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And we don't get tattoos either.
The homies, we were like, yo, Adrian put on his Instagram, yo, what should I dress up as Halloween? And one of the homies was like, nothing. My church doesn't do that. Yeah. And we don't get tattoos either.
So look, man, if you were to celebrate Halloween. It's not that big of a deal. So all you guys out there that are upset with Halloween, don't be. It's not that serious. My son dresses up. They actually had a costume party last Saturday. Was that? We had a costume party with all the kids, and then they went to a harvest festival yesterday at North Coast Calvary in Carlsbad, or is it Encinitas? So Levi dressed up. He was Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Check this out. He had to be Spider-Man, but the Iron Man edition.
Check this out. He had to be Spider-Man, but the Iron Man edition.
Halloween costume party that usually happens the day before. Sometimes it's a couple days before. And for today at church. Now, some of you guys are like, Ruslan, you are dressed up for Halloween. How dare you? Listen, just bear with me. Watch till the end. I'm addressing all of it. I'm not pulling any of it back, okay? We dressed up as the Toon Squad. I am LeBron James. That's the number I had. I'm not really LeBron James, but LeBron James. He is Michael Jordan. His jersey says Jordan on the back. Okay, so before you jump into, hey, regardless on whatever you do, it's still satanic because it's rude. Okay, is this satanic to you? Just like remove all your bias. Just remove all your bias and say, if we had a costume party, and we carved pumpkins, which is what we did today, by the way. We carved pumpkins at my parents' house. And we dressed up like this. Is there anything satanic about this? Ask yourself objectively, remove, I heard so-and-so say that. I heard so-and-so say this. I heard so-and-so say that. Just remove all that and just ask yourself this question. Is there anything satanic about this? I'll do you a better one. Is there anything satanic about my Zoe dressing up as a pumpkin? This is Zoe Grace. You guys don't know. I had a daughter. My wife had a daughter. I just participated. She was a pumpkin. This is yesterday at our Halloween party. Okay, you guys could go to my Instagram. You see a boomerang of us jumping. I wasn't able to download that. The meme, the TikTok meme, right? Is that satanic? I've looked through the scriptures all over. There's nothing in there about dressing up.
That women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works.
I've looked through the scriptures all over. There's nothing in there about dressing up.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
There's nothing in there about carving pumpkins. There's nothing in there about trick-or-treating. There's nothing in there about any of this stuff.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
So, people are going to go, well, Ruslan, you don't know the origins of Halloween. You don't understand that the origins of Halloween are demonic. John Ramirez said so. And I would say, well, which origins? And which history? And where are you pulling your facts from? Who are you listening to? Because here's what you'll discover when you look at Hallows Eve. Just Google history of Halloween. You look at it, what you'll discover. And by the way, shout out to Mike Winger, who did a phenomenal job on this. You guys should check out his video. Probably way better than me on this topic. Alan Parr did a great video on this. What you'll discover is Halloween is like all of our holidays. That there is a crossover in the origins between both Christian tradition and pagan tradition, okay? And it's the same thing with regards to this sign, right? Like KB threw this up in a picture. Well, Ruslan, don't you know that that's the satanic symbol for worshiping Satan? And I go, no, it's not. This is the sign language symbol for I love you in sign language. And then people from Houston also throw this up. That's what that actually means. Well, no, the Church of Satan said that. Listen, I'm going to go with sign language. I'm going to go with people that actually know sign language. And I'm going to go off of their basis and what they say. I'm not going to go off of the Church of Satan because the Church of Satan holds no power over me. Okay? And it's this silly notion that you can get inadvertently tricked into something by not knowing what you're doing. And that's nonsense.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
And it's this silly notion that you can get inadvertently tricked into something by not knowing what you're doing. And that's nonsense.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Okay, me throwing up this is not going to get me a secret invitation into the Illuminati and get me to sell my soul to the dark side. Ain't no demon getting to me. Jesus got me. I'm covered by the blood. You can't trick me into getting a demon. That's not how it works, fam. You can't trick me into getting a demon. That's not how it works, fam. So why do you keep on following the rules of the world? Such as, don't handle, don't taste, don't touch, don't dress up, don't listen to this genre of music, don't throw this hand symbol up, don't do that, don't do this. Such rules are mere human teachings about things that deteriorate.
I would be questionable if my brain deteriorated down the road.
Like, this is the type of brain rot that happens on the internet.
My brain deteriorated down the road.
Like, this is the type of brain rot that happens on the internet.
These are the shenanigans that are going to deteriorate a lot of people's lives. And then that deteriorates your family relationships, that deteriorates your mental health. Things about things that deteriorate as we use them. Watching her deteriorate and her alcoholism. Do you see them deteriorate? Things that deteriorate as we use them.
This is Billy Carson level, like, ignorant. This is really bad. As we use them. These rules may seem wise because they require strong devotion, pious self-denial, and severe bodily discipline, but they provide no help in conquering a person's evil desires. So here's the thing about all this Halloween stuff. There's always going to be someone that one-ups you. You don't celebrate Halloween? Well, we don't celebrate Christmas. You don't you think that throwing this up is allegiance to Satan? Oh yeah, well, we don't throw up we don't even practice ASL because it's all them. Someone's always going to one-up you in your pursuit of additions to traditions. You're adding traditions to something that's just not in Scripture. There's nothing in Scripture about any of these things. You're adding stuff on really because you're weak. You're the weak brother. Really because you're weak. You're the weak brother. And that's fine. That's fine. But when we have the weaker brother in positions of authority and leadership, judging and condemning brothers that just want to dress up. Fam, we just dress up once a year. That's it. We just dress up. And you're going to sit and judge people because they dress up on Halloween and you don't. It's very dangerous, fam. It's very dangerous. And you're slipping into something that's void of the gospel and void of the power of God. You can have the personal conviction that, you know what, man, because of these things, because of what John Ramirez said, because some people want to dress up sexy, because some people want to dress up as Freddy Krueger, because some people, and I'm not saying any of those things are okay. To be clear, because we don't dress up as demons, we don't dress up as warlocks, we don't dress up as wizards, we don't dress up as any of those things, okay? That is not the meaning of that holiday to us. We don't do any of those things. Because we don't dress up as demons.
So Levi dressed up. He was Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Check this out. He had to be Spider-Man, but the Iron Man edition.
Because we don't dress up as demons.
Check this out. He had to be Spider-Man, but the Iron Man edition.
And yes, if one of my Christian friends dressed up as a demon, I'd be like, what are you doing? You're freaking weird. That's not cool. That's not okay, right? So my point in all of this is, if you don't want to celebrate Halloween, don't celebrate Halloween. The issue is when you judge and condemn me and my family.
What have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not ye judge them that are within? But them that are without, God judgeth.
And people like us, because of your past engagement with something. You may not be able to dress up for Halloween. Respect. I would never invite you to a Halloween party. I would never invite you to our annual Halloween party. Never invite you to my church on Halloween. I would never invite you to our annual Halloween party. Never invite you to my church on Halloween. Never invite you to my church on Halloween. because it's lit. It's freaking fire, right?
Apparently, there's a movement by Christians who are against yoga pants.
You know, my ears didn't deceive me. Now, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of yoga pants. Well, I'm a fan of yoga pants when my wife wears them. But I'm not the biggest fan of yoga pants. But apparently this is a thing. And it was sent to me by one of our mods, Kelly P. She always be feeding me some good stories. And this looks like it's by Pints with Aquinas. Aquinas. She sent me the podcast, Phil Vischer's Holy Post podcast, and he talked about it. And I had to go do my research. And apparently it's my favorite Catholic theologian, which is a big... I really like Pints with Aquinas, okay? So let's see what he's talking about. Oh, man.
Please give up yoga pants. Or if you're going to wear pants that make it look as if someone has painted your pants on. But I'll tell you what Thomas Aquinas said, so if you think what I'm saying is offensive, buckle up. He said that a woman who dresses immodestly is like someone who digs a hole and then covers it over and sets a trap for a man. So give up yoga pants, give up Crocs.
You're probably a
Give up yoga pants and Crocs? Hold on, man. Hold on. What are we talking about? Oh gosh, and I went. Okay, let's see. I bet you this. I mean, this dude looks like a vampire, so I'm pretty sure his response isn't going to be anything I care about. But
judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
For the sake of playing this,
pervert who needs to stop watching. If you think that it's okay for a woman to go outside practically naked with the outline of her intimate parts being flashed around, just look somewhere else. By that logic, you'd be cool with people walking around nude. If the mother of Jesus wouldn't wear it, then you shouldn't either.
Yeah, this is definitely some, I love some of my Catholic brothers and sisters, but this is definitely some Catholic stuff. Now, here's the deal. Should you wear yoga pants everywhere? Probably not.
Should you wear yoga pants everywhere? Probably not.
Christian men, women shouldn't wear yoga pants. Jesus, if your right hand causes you to lust, pluck it out or throw it away. That's a W. I am, I'm so taken aback by this. Out of all the issues out there, out of all the issues in the world, someone decided to wake up and make yoga pants the issue they wanted to wage war on. Out of all the issues dealing with Christianity, what they wanted to do was chop up Pints with Aquinas and point out that yoga pants and Crocs are problematic. Here's the thing. This comes off very cancel culture-ish to me. When you start drawing hard lines about things, I feel like there's nothing wrong with having these conversations as in-house conversations. Meaning, if there are women who are leading other women and they want to sit down with the women in their church and have a conversation about what is and isn't appropriate, like that's a fine conversation to have. But am I tripping to think that this shouldn't be at the top of our level of importance in terms of what's happening in society? Yoga pants and Crocs. Because even with yoga pants and Crocs, let's just talk about yoga pants. I don't get what Crocs are about. But even with yoga pants, there's a spectrum there. There's a spectrum there in terms of yoga pants. Like there's like, oh, you decided to wear a sports bra with yoga pants that are too small, and now everything is shown. Everything is shown. They literally do look like spray paint. Just that is different than yoga pants that fit correctly with a t-shirt covering up some of the bum.
Immorality.
I don't know. Yoga pants going to the gym, a little different than yoga pants at the grocery store at church. I don't know.
can you consume marijuana responsibly, right? I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the question that scares people. The sin that kills you, does it kill just your body here on earth, or does it kill you in the next life?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's a, I think there's a time and a place for everything. This is like people who would say you shouldn't wear bathing suits. Well, yeah, you shouldn't wear bathing suits to church or to the gym or to a restaurant. Fair enough. But can you wear bathing suits to the beach or to the pool? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I would go back to, though, if bathing suits cause you to stumble, then you shouldn't go to the beach. You shouldn't go to the beach. If bathing suits cause you to feel uncomfortable, then maybe you need to take some self-inventory and stop trying to police the world. Because that's always gone over very well. Trying to help non-Christians who are not born again, don't got the Spirit of God, to be more modest and live by Christian standards. Yeah, that goes over very well. I don't know. It's such a weird issue to talk about. Listen, I think there's a standard and an expectation for modesty in women in the church. Yes and amen. I think that line can be blurry sometimes. That line can be blurry sometimes. I don't know where that line is, right? I don't know where we draw the line between yoga pants, leggings, yada, yada, yada. How much is showing? How much is revealed? Some of the bum. How much is showing? How much is revealed? Some of the bum. But it's just a weird thing to like want to wake up and make content about. Am I tripping? Help me out, chat. Let me know. Am I tripping? Yeah, look, I think it's all in the context. I think it's all in the context. I think it's all within, is it appropriate? Yoga pants to church, to a restaurant? Probably not. Yoga pants to run errands and to, I don't know, proper fitted yoga pants.
I don't know.
Gym leggings and yoga pants are two different things. That's also a W.
False convert.